Title: Screw Off Teacher, not the most hardcore revenge but certainly me at my petty best. Long one so TLDR at the bottom. Back in the mid-90s I went to a local comprehensive and had the same teacher for science in years 7 and 8. My teacher, Mrs. Gooney, as that's what we called her and I don't remember her real name, was one of those who'd been teaching for years and hated kids. She seemed to take pleasure in just being nasty and downright rude to me. So much so that at parent-teacher night in year 8 she told my parents I was possibly the stupidest child she had ever dealt with and I was completely unteachable. This was the final straw for my parents. They knew I hated the school and was being bullied mercilessly. A year earlier my dad was offered a role over in Moscow and they'd looked at a boarding school for me as we'd have been returning at the end of year 10, middle of my GCSEs. He'd ultimately turned it down but now the school came back into play and after passing the entry test I joined at the start of year 9. In the UK we used to have SATs in years 2, 6 and 9. These covered maths, English and science. So come the end of my first year at my new school I sat the exams. A few weeks later and the results come out. The vast majority of kids would score level 5 or 6. Those who were struggling would get 4 and the more advanced kids a 7. There were even rumors that the smartest of the smart could get a level 8. I scored 7, 7, 7. Not bad for the unteachable thicko. As we were a boarding school and had class on Saturdays we broke up 3 weeks before the state schools did. So first Monday back home my mum offers to drive me down to my old school to pay Mrs. Gooney a visit. Yes, I may be petty but nothing compared to my mum. The joy I felt walking up to her class, going in and in front of 30 of her students saying, "Hi Gooney. Do you remember me, the stupidest child you'd ever met? Here's my SATs. All 7s you cow." I then turned to the class and said, "Don't worry, you're not dumb, she's just the worst teacher in the world," before walking out with my head held high. That was good but then I took my GCSEs. Thanks to my SATs scores I got to take separate sciences rather than double award. This meant I got a GCSE each for biology, chemistry and physics rather than just 2 total for the 3 of them. When the results came out I had 2 A's and 1 C. Well, that was it. Time for a repeat performance. Thankfully 6th form started after the rest of the schools went back so I got to walk into her classroom yet again. Even better, the kids were all year 7s on their first day at big school. So with the biggest grin on my face I went. "Me again Gooney. The stupidest child you ever met. Thought you'd like to see my grades this time. Good thing I had teachers actually capable of teaching. Hey kids, make sure you get you parents to demand you be moved to a class with a competent teacher." I did have to run out of there that time as her screeching attracted other teachers. Title: The Keys. When I was in high school we had to have the school's locks on our lockers and the school's locks only. This was a problem because the locks were very cheap and people could open them by kicking the lock. This led to a lot of break-ins. Accidentally, I just so happened to be assigned to a bottom locker when one day this kid who was known to be a dick broke into mine and stole my phone. I got everything back and he got a detention. The part that I wanted petty revenge for wasn't the phone itself. No, I was mad at the fact that he kept my number to prank call me. And that he did because when he got out of detention he was pissed and he called me all the time at very late times. This is where the keys come in. Title: Hit on my underage sister. Okay, enjoy the bad reviews. Okay, so not much of a story, but at a gas station where I live the guy behind the counter was talking with my 15 sister. Here is the conversation: S equals sister awk equals old creepy guy awk. Oh, I liked your makeup. How old are you? S. Oh, I'm 14. She lied, hoping to get him to back off. Awk. I didn't mean like that. Points to our dad. Is that your dad over there? S. Yes. By this point she is very uncomfortable, so she tells us, "Know that this is the second time this has happened. We wanted to do something." Title: Make your homework. This is a story my math teacher told me, written on mobile so it may look weird. My math teacher always gave an answer book and there were these 3 boys that never had any questions wrong in their homework but they would struggle in class. My math teacher was onto them, so he made a plan. He told the class that they will get 5 exercises as homework, but he would personally check them, and if there were to be any mistakes you would get an extra 2 exercises, and he deliberately chose 5 exercises he knew were wrong in the answer book. So the day came, and lo and behold, they had 5 answers wrong. He told them that he knew. They did not get into trouble, but they did learn their lesson.